I've had a few parents ask me how they can know what their student is supposed to be practicing. So I thought I'd let you know that everything you need is right here in your Keynotes book. Every student has their very own Keynotes book. And the first section is the white pages. And they have a weekly rehearsal page for every lesson for the whole entire year. We put the date in the lesson and we put assignments in these different little sections. If your student is using the method books, then there's a spot for each of the 4 method books they're using. If they're not, there are blank spots underneath.
Here's the close-up version of the junior weekly rehearsal sheet for elementary students. And this is the senior version for junior high and high school students. It's slightly different with a longer keyboard and staff. So here's how it works. At the student's lesson, we'll give a new assignment. It could be a page, a section of a piece, or a whole piece. We'll indicate how many times to play through it, or maybe a practice strategy to use, or just have them polish it up. Now here's the fun part. This is where the student tracks their practicing. Each one of these segments represents a day of practicing. Once the student finishes their assignment, they fill in a segment with tally marks or whatever they want. By the end of the week, they should have most, if not all, of that little line wedge filled in. There's a spot for an assignment from each book, including the theory book too. There's something kind of satisfying about checking off assignments, and we've tried to make it kind of fun. This lower left-hand section is for technique like scales, chords, and arpeggios. In the lesson, we'll assign a key or sometimes multiple keys for the student to work on, as well as a metronome tempo. Maybe we'll cross out scales if they aren't ready for that, or maybe we'll have them only focus on scales. If they need help with fingering or notes, the blue section in the book has all the technique written out with notes and fingering. During home practice, after the student works on a part of the technique, they get to fill in a segment of the corresponding line. Here is where the student writes their scale, chords, or arpeggios on the staff and the fingering on the keyboard. A fun new thing we just started is something called Limelight. About once a month, students have the opportunity to record one of their polished pieces on the grand piano during their lesson time. With permission, we'll post these recordings to the studio social media. This spot is where we write the title of the piece they are polishing for the Limelight. So, everything your student is supposed to practice is marked on their weekly rehearsal sheet, and they should practice everything 5 days or more during the week. We just love it when students practice everything well at home and come into a lesson ready to pass off every single assignment. And for each pass-off, they get to fill in a part of the target line in the back of their book. Once they've finished a row of pass-offs, they get to pick a prize from the prize box. They always love that. We're all about the pass-offs in the lesson. Parents can reinforce this by asking their students how many pass-offs they got during their lesson. I hope I've answered all your questions about what to practice. Keep up the good work and happy practicing!